on where the teams like to find themselves.
Yeah, I think the one game mode that's probably going to change the most over the course of the early part of the season, hardpoint seems to be pretty straightforward. Search, obviously things will kind of come and go, but control I think will probably have the biggest change in strategy over the course of the next couple weeks or months, because we seen it seems like teams decide to go for the easy point first, but at the same time, even though you do give yourself the most time to get that second point, assuming the other team backs up and doesn't want to donate lives, I'm curious to see if teams switch things up and go for the harder point first. Um, because going for the harder point first after the first one's gone, the defensive team has so many places to get set up. Where if you give them a slightly different look the first push or two, I think you aren't going to be facing the same amount of ARs set up and posted up. And I bring this up with Moscow in mind because very
Oh,
rarely.
the A point on Moscow is just
Yeah,
like a complete lockdown fortress. It's
yeah.
so
I
tough to
mean,
get into.
it's so hard, and I think if you hit it first, when the defensive team doesn't have 4 or 5 ARs set up around it, your chances go up immensely. Given it's a not overly difficult zone to retake, but getting into the site to begin with, it's a lot easier right off the rip in theory. So we'll have to see how teams decide to go about it. It seems like at the moment they are favoring giving themselves 2 minutes, minute and a half worth of time to try to fight in after getting zone B. But it seems like every map is pretty consistent on like there's one easy point or easy-ish point. Then there's a second point that is a lot harder. So I'm curious to see if these points maybe change in location too, because there's one of them. I'm trying to remember what
That would
map
be
it is.
cool to see. That would be a huge change in the
Yeah,
meta if that ever happens. So
yeah.
it's kind of a tough thing for Treyarch to make a change that big, but
Hmm.
they definitely have to mix something up.
Right.
Maybe even not move them like to a completely new position
No.
on the map, but just inch them a little bit closer. So
Right.
maybe there's a new wall that you can hide behind
Sure.
as an attacker that forces a defender to turn a corner. Because right now, if you remember, on specifically, we've been talking about Moscow. We've been talking about point A on Moscow control.
Yep.
There are the stairs coming down from usually where the attackers are spawning. There are
Yep.
two walls, and
Hmm.
it's just such a choke point to
Yeah.
get through
It
that
is.
even to try and get behind the little L-shaped corridor where there's a column to hide behind, you usually can't make it that far. It's so
No.
tough. If they moved it just a little bit farther towards those stairs so the attackers could actually kind of get behind that wall and force the defenders to come and push them, that could really mix things up. I'm not sure long term how that could impact how defensively or offensive sidedly the map is, but it's at least something they could maybe be considering about. Because right now, I had people in my chat being like, this one is going to go to 5 maps and it's going to go to whoever started on defense
Pretty
first, no
much.
matter how good these two teams are.
Yeah, well, it was weird watching the match yesterday because teams were using snipers on offense, and that's something I don't think I've ever seen in respawn. And it was actually having a positive effect, but there's only so much you can do when the enemy team just spawns up, immediately sprints to head glitches, and just slowly but surely picks you off. I mean,
Yeah.
having a sniper in that choke point's great, and relieve some pressure, but it's not going to help you win the round very often. So. And I know, kind of back to the same conversation about switching the points a little bit on a garrison. I can't remember if it's A or B, but there's whatever point is by the first hard point. There, you can actually contest that from inside the office room. So, without even showing yourself, you can contest it, and it's kind of a goofy setup. So I'm curious to see how many spots there are like that actually out there, and if Treyarch will actually tweak the points, the maps, and whatever else. So.
Yeah, so right now, just waiting to get in with these teams as they try to set up their lobby. I
Yep.
assume by now that the host team has at least sent out their invites to whoever is going to be joining up on them.
I
So
think I've
hopefully
heard
we
we're
won't have any.
Yeah, I think I heard they're having connection issues, so we'll see. That seems to be a
I've been
common.
hearing that from a lot of teams.
Oh yeah,
A lot of teams are saying they're struggling to get into the lobby. It took 20 minutes to get into the lobby yesterday. I remember you were going to cast a Challengers League match
yeah, I
and
tried.
couldn't end up doing it because there were connection issues. So
No, Yeah, I'm not sure.
Something's definitely up right now. It's early though in the game, so it's kind of to be expected.
Yeah, it sounded very similar to how it was early on for Modern Warfare. I was hoping for better things for this game, but it is very similar at the moment. So hopefully it gets
I
fixed.
have to wonder if maybe it's something with they had to obviously change how connection works to allow crossplay between
Sure.
PS4, Xbox, and PC. And once crossplay came in, is really when you started to hear about dev errors and everything
Ugh.
like that. So maybe that has something to do with it. Is it's a lot
Yeah.
harder to make these things, all these different machines connect than we're probably giving them credit for. So I'd like to say that we give the devs just a little bit more time, but it is frustrating from the competitive scene to be like, I spend 25 minutes
Right.
switching through every available host and nothing works out.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, try to post some type of workaround. I mean, there has to be a solution to it. I mean, I don't know how we're supposed to figure it out because we're just trying to play matches quickly and whatever else. But there
I mean, we
has to be.
figured it out last year. Do you remember how first it was like,
Yeah.
all right, you have to get all the
Oh my
PlayStation
God,
players
yeah.
in, and then get the Xbox players in, and then later on, it's like, okay, we have to invite everybody into the lobby first, or into the party first, then join the lobby,
Oh my gosh.
and then change the
Yep.
game mode away and back to CDL, and so.
Yeah.
People figure out the ways to get past it. It's just really annoying.
Yeah, it is definitely, and kind of like what Frogger just said in the chat or 30 seconds ago. Whenever the chat hears this, so apparently all system console players need to be in the lobby first, and then everyone else join up. So it sounds similar to last year. So maybe
Yeah,
that's
but,
what to work
it's
on.
going to take some time for the players and the hosts and everyone to start figuring that out, which is why it might take a little bit before everything is running smoothly.
Game session no longer available. Okay, so this is going well.
Yeah, I mean we have two people hanging out with us, Shifty and Beams.
Yeah,
here,
I don't think they want me to host and stream.
No.
It probably won't go well for them. But let's see here. I don't know if they're restarting their games or what's going on here because the person that was hosting I don't see him anymore. So we'll see.
Yeah, so that could be something that we throw out though into some of like the announcements in the XP League Discord is make sure you have all of like
Yeah.
one console joined and all of the next console and then the PC casters.
Yeah, hopefully
maybe it'll work.
Hopefully they are watching this and listening because I mean, I didn't deal with this the first couple days that we had matches. Monday, Tuesday, things went pretty smoothly. So this is different. I'm not sure if it's because there's two casters versus one or what, because there was a game update yesterday sometime, right?
It was after I casted yesterday.
Was it today?
I had to update my game earlier today.
That's
so
right. Okay.
They're
Strange.
definitely trying to fix things.
Well, it's hopefully not like last year where as soon as they fix something, it breaks something else. We'll have to see. But it looks like maybe somebody got in there and someone just left us, so maybe the lobby's going. I don't know.
Yeah, Beam's headed out. I don't know if that's because of connection or not, but we can just try and keep wasting a little bit of time up until this moment as trying to go through. And now Frogger says need to have PC first unless it's a console host, then have the console players physically join and not accept an invite. Well, that's an issue because in the rules, we have it be private party or private lobbies, so you need an invite to get in.
Yeah,
because
I think you can
we've
switch
had the
it.
issues of people just joining in and spectating, and that causes a whole lot of people wanting FFs.
And actually, now that I think about it, I think I do recall that being how teams did it Monday, Tuesday, so that they had it be joinable at first, and then as soon as everyone was in, they closed it. So I don't know if that was a secret or if they just knew more than what we do, but it seemed to work well.
Try that at some point.
I don't know. It seemed to work then, but we'll see here. Okay, well, maybe I'll get an invite here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, all the other players have headed out, so hopefully we can pick up some invites. I don't know. It's just that type of thing where you gotta deal with it. There are probably ways to fix it, but at the moment, especially since you guys can talk to us, you can listen to what we're talking about, but we're not the hosts. We're not the ones that can actually apply these fixes getting sent over to us. So
No,
it's
we
kind of just
cannot.
a situation of hang out, hope that it eventually gets fixed up. Oh, but Jordan Nova gonna come in and drop another couple of tier 1 subs, and I saw him ask for it earlier. He was like, where's the Morgan sub hype? So I'll give it to you now. Jordan Nova coming in with the sub hype. That's what we like to see. Man's just made of money. Continually dropping it for
I
all
am
of us
in.
peasants.
I am
Oh,
in,
he
Morgan.
managed to get in. Can
I
you send me an invite?
I
See if we
think
can,
you may have to join off of me.
I will try to join off of you.
Yeah, that may be how this works, but we shall see.
It is listed as not joinable at the moment.
Uh-oh.
So
Hopefully they don't start.
It might already be closed. You can try to send me out with the invite.
Where are you? There you are. Let's see. Invite to party.
T-Man jumped in with the question I think you'd be very appropriate to answer. He says, what is the XP League?
Oh, my. Well, XP League, I mean, I guess I could give the origin story, or I could just say what it is, but let's see here. Sorry, I was... So we are a amateur Call of Duty League. Did you get my invite, by the way?
I did. It's not letting me join.
Okay.
You could try, though. It would really start to test the internet. You could try to share on Discord your screen, but I'm going to just continue. It doesn't make the invite go away when it says the game session is not joinable, so I'm just going to keep clicking it until it gives me a chance to actually get in.
Okay, I told the captain to keep the lobby open until we get you in there. But anyways, yeah, XP League, we are an amateur Call of Duty league. We just partnered with a bigger event organizer, so we're going to be doing more and more things in the future. Right now, XP has always been a Call of Duty amateur league provider. Our partner Game Time is big into Rocket League, so we're going to be adding more and more games as we go, but for the time being, we are a Call of Duty-focused league, and then, as we perfect this, we will be growing and expanding and getting into more amateur sports, or esports, I guess. So, as you see, however, our production has not always been this good, so you are getting here at the right time.
Yeah, I am. It is absolutely not letting me join in. It just says that the lobby is not joinable. I'm clicking join party, trying to join off of the invite. So we can either try to switch over to a Discord stream, or we could just have you take over. I'd prefer not to do that. I wanted the duo cast to come out today.
He just changed it to private. Okay, it should be open now. Maybe restart the
inbox. Join this. Nope, it's saying everything game session is not joinable.
Don't go to the invite. Go to just go to social.
I tried both.
Oh, really? Well, that's not great.
Yeah, when I go to you, it gives me the option to join your party, and then it says game session not joinable. And you guys should only have 9 of 10, right? It should be.
Yes, it says 9 of 10. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we this is, I don't know why this is making it so complicated to duo cast, but here we are.
Yeah, so we could either, if you want to try and keep things alive, try and keep the hope of the duo cast here. I could try M Hammer doing a quick restart. That's a good idea. But if it takes a few more minutes, we're just going to give up and get the action started, because it is already overdue for you guys to watch a little bit of Call of Duty, and I know Drew can hold his own if that's what it comes down to.
They're doing map picks and bans right now anyways, so I think we're okay.
All right, let's try and relaunch Cold War, see if that ends up fixing out.
Hopefully that's
the
Wigs,
issue. Head out. Good luck to what you have going on the rest of the day, and thank you for wishing us a great cast. T-Man, it's a little bit late for this season to be joining up on these leagues, but
unfortunately,
keep an eye out. We will be, after these leagues are done, all of them will be open up to some new, actually, does Vibe have a new spot open? I can't remember
I think
if
they
it was
filled.
one of their teams saying they needed a new team, or if it was them saying they needed a new org.
It got filled pretty quick, I think. So, but yeah, it's funny because as soon as Monday hit and I closed registration for the Challengers League, I think probably a dozen teams messaged to sign up. I'm like, well, I don't.
Well, that's why everyone, you shouldn't wait until the very last moment. You're going to miss it.
It's true.
All right, I'm back in. Let's see now.
It should still be open.
Go to Drew. Join party. Oh, it was thinking. Okay, I'm actually in.
All right, beautiful.
It switched over to Codcaster, and we will be good. So, M Hammer, you're the real MVP. Why didn't I think of the classic solution? Turn it off and turn it right back on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. Awesome. We finally got this going here. I'm going to switch over. I know you guys love looking at our beautiful faces, but I'm going to switch over to the game here. I think we're going to get started pretty quickly. So let's just do that. All right, here we go. And I heard you talking about the graphics yesterday, which was fun. Let's see here. What did I do? Okay. Oh, I need to switch that once we get in the game. That's fun.
Yeah, the graphics are looking great right now. Graphics guy from, is it Game Times or Renegades graphics guy?
Both.
Kind of both?
Yep,
both. Everyone's graphics guy?
It says he can't move you to... Oh, this is just...
Jesus Christ.
Well, this is just lovely.
I mean, it's a little bit confusing. I mean, first of all, it's just a weird lobby system with how they have you change teams. It's not like how it used to be just you would switch to Codcaster, Coalition, or Allegiance. It's now you have to, like, drag yourself around these colors and...
I'm asking him if he can switch the lobby settings to where everyone could pick their own team, but we'll see. I don't want to...
Yo, thank you, Jordan Nova. I appreciate that. Hopefully I can show everyone why you feel that way if we can get this cast underway without too many more issues.
Hold on. Butu had a request to see our faces, so here we go.
Yeah, we'll go back to the
But
faces for a
yes.
second. Hello, here I am again. How are you guys doing? He needs one player to leave first, then he has to move him ahead of time. What? Frogger, tell me it ain't so.
Oh, this is obnoxious. This game, oh my lord.
I mean, you could ask him to do that, but then that gives the risk of maybe that player can't get back in. So how do you want to handle it, Drew? What do you want to go down for this?
I might try just sharing my screen on Discord, and then we will go from there. But
yeah, share your share application instead of just share screen, and that way I can actually hear Call of Duty, and I should be able to see the exact same thing the stream is seeing. So would probably work out pretty well either way. I'll be right on calling out the things that are on screen.
All right, so let me do this. Let's go. Okay, share your screen. I need to share Call of Duty Black Ops. And there we go. Go live for resolution. I can't do that. Okay, frame rate. Okay.
See what we got. Oh, I can see it. Tell him to go. Tell him to hit play.
All right.
Oh no! Someone just Dynamics got switched across to Codcaster. Get him back on the team. Tell him we figured it out. It's fine.
Yep.
So, with 30 minutes after the designated start time, I think it'll finally... Nope, another guy's gone. I take it all back. Everything has now been mixed up. Oh, let's hope that the last member of the blue squad can get back on. Make sure that you have the team set up right, by the way.
I think I do. I think I have them.
His team is on team 1. It's just, I always have to double check it. What squad is Dynamics on? Is he Starboys or is he Clearwater?
I believe he's no, he is on Starboys.
Okay, then it's all set up. Clearwater is on team 2. Starboys is on team 1. Everyone is readied up. We got 4 team members on each side and 1 Codcaster locking it down. That
Yes.
is the man, Drew.
Oh,
and
man.
Everything looks clean so far on the stream. Jordan
good.
Nova just going to come in and say, M-Hammer, it's been a while. How about a little bit more sub-hype? And it's time to finally load in Garrison on the hardpoint map number 1.
Just so the chat knows, we are seeing Garrison 3 straight times, and then Cartel, and then Moscow. So we aren't going to get much variety to start out here. And before we really get in here, I want to make sure I move around these graphics how like you had them yesterday before we get too deep into this. Because you had them set up in a perfect spot, and I was a big fan of that, so...
Yeah, so it's kind of,
I don't know if I'm
you
able
see
to
the little
actually.
face next to the names?
Yep.
I covered that up with the XP logo, and then I moved game time down below where it says hardpoint.
I do like that.
That seems kind of the cleanest location. I'll keep things locked down here, though, as the teams run in. Starboy's now going to be trying to be the first one onto the point. Looks like the colors might be backwards between the the teams will try and figure that out. As immediately Shifty going to go in. He knocks down by Dynamics, and IO trades it back. It's 3 kills coming through for Starboys earlier on. Or no, it's actually coming through for Clearwater. That is going to be an interesting one to deal with, but it's just another one of those things casters have to try and fight through. How do you like these rotations early on here on Garrison? Do you even fight for this first one really that hard, or are you everyone just looking for hill number 2?
I mean, there's so many places where you can defend this area from. You know, there's a lot of ways to attack it, so I think it's smart to try to defend it as much as you can without, you know, blatantly flipping spawns and handicapping yourself for the second hill. But Clearwater seems to be doing a really good job here of just moving back. First hill's almost done. They did a good job of not giving up too much time, and now they are set up here on what should be a big-time money hill for them.
Yeah, so now everything going control of Starboys, actually. Starboys is the green team on the mini-map, the red team on the scoreboard. IO knocks down Beams, wants to flick it back over to Mofo, pulls it too slow as Mofo gets him, but Cyan Dynamics rushing in onto the point to get that double kill and retake control for themselves. This Shifty falls for Clearwater. They're going to fall even further behind. Already a 30-point lead coming for the Starboys and see how much farther they can build it. Nice shots there by Cy as he knocks down Mofo and gets a little bit of help from IO. Looking like all the spawns are in favor of PGU, or of Starboys, as you can see how close they're spawning there on the top left side of the map. PGU spawning very far on the bottom right. It is a trek to get over here to hill number 2, and now they're just going to have to try and set themselves up for hill 3 and turn things around. But early on, hill 1 and 2 control going over to the Starboys, and they've built themselves a nice little lead.
Yeah, I'm now completely seeing why I was calling rotations out backwards the first 2 times, and I was confusing myself mid-cast, but now I am getting that the colors were backwards. I thought they were backwards up top, but they're actually backwards on the mini-map compared to up top, so it is all coming full circle. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a great start for Starboys. They did a good job of getting more time on P1 than Clearwater. Obviously had the rotation, and now they've already broken in here on P3. So they had the spawns once again, and Clearwater just seems to be losing a lot of gunfights, not consistently able to keep things going. PGU Mofo seems to be the only one that's consistently winning anything.
IO just put down a nice little triple feed for himself, and he is still up and running. IO sitting now at a 4-kill streak, 11-5 in the game, and his whole team is doing very well. Sai the only one even. Monoxide is in an interesting position. He's 6-1 and barely has any time on the hill, so I'm kind of interesting where he's been running around, but at least he hasn't been dying. A very nice KDA for him, and for Clearwater, they got to figure something out. Down 580. Jumping in now comes Shifty, going to turn the corner to challenge Dynamics. He falls, and you see there that AK-74 used, and actually an MP5 getting used as well. So we were talking about the AR dominance, but it looks like these teams are trying to stick true to the SMGs. Over here, Dynamics, though, very classic gun in hand as he has the Craig 6 going over the center. Can't quite find any kills as Starboys get 2 people down on the hard point, and they will extend their lead to over 100. Clearwater really looking rough here in the early stages of map 1.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought up these subs that we're seeing here, because there are 2 people making big impacts for Starboys, and I think it's Sai and Monoxide using those subs, and they've really been controlling the pace of this map so far, making big time impacts. And actually, is it IO using one as well? So is it 3 subs or is it 2?
I mean, if you're going to count the 74U as a sub, I believe it's 3 subs on the side of Starboys, and maybe the same for Clearwater. They have at least 2. Ryan is definitely on the Crig, though, as he knocks down both IO and Dynamics. He's going to try and help out his teammate Mofo here on the point as they build it back up, but can't reach that 100-point mark. Still down by over triple digits. I shoot Beams at the Sentex lane right in front. Decides to challenge IO. Doesn't go his way. The double kill onto Ryan and Beams before Shifty can finally turn it around on that trade. Still the KDA's reaching far and ahead for Starboys. IO by far the MVP around. As around the corner comes Dynamics. He gets one, immediately traded back, and control stays in the way of Clearwater for the second. They'll be able, it looks like, to tie things up until IO will actually clear out the man on the point, so still 102. By tie things up, I meant beating them by an even 100, not actually tie the game. That is still far and away a little bit of a tough mountain to climb.
Yeah, this is one of the more clean hard point rotations I've seen on this map in particular. This is one of those maps that I feel like teams do a good job of kind of mucking up and trying to contest time and splitting time and keeping teams off the point. But Starboys are doing such a good job of racking up so much uncontested time. It's really impressive to see so far. Clearwater trying their best to contest and win gunfights, but they just can't win them consistently.
Yeah, Mofo is doing his best right now. He's sitting at 15 and 14, so at least above even. The rest of his team, though, very much struggling. Beans and Shifty having some trouble.
Oh,
so
no.
Out as a melee, as Dynamic is just swinging the fist, gets the one onto Beams, and then IO gets a little bit of revenge to cover his teammate. Shifty gets knocked down. Coming back to cover the point is the Starboys leading member. He even has the most time on the point, so IO is doing everything right now.
Oh,
another nice little double
that
for
AK.
himself. Building up the feed as the 74U is knocking him down. Or the AK-47 or the 74U. The Russian engineering is definitely looking good in Cold War thus far. IO 26 and 9.
Yeah, and you're looking at the mini-map, even though it says Clearwater is in a great spot here, they are definitely not, as Starboys is actually the green arrows, and they're flooding the hill, and it's only a matter of time until they win the gunfights and get a position as Dynamics takes out a couple players there. IO's going to get the third, and this is looking like it's going to be close to the end here for Clearwater PGU. They just can't get to the hill and hold any substantial amount of time, as this has been a dominant hardpoint so far.
Yeah, so right now it's looking like things are going to be running out, but for Clearwater, you got to be trying to at least play for time, try to get your feet back under you before you run into the SND. So maybe they'll be able to make a play over on one of these hills, but Monoxide not going to let it happen. Gets himself a double kill before it's I shoot Beams, drops it in behind to get it right back. Clearwater with a second to breathe, but in come the challenging members. Dynamic's going to rush onto the point and get that kill. Everyone else going for these rotations, and IO is going to be the main man leading it. Coming to challenge him is Mofo around the backside. He gets knocked down by Sai instead, but Ryan gets IO. So the
Dynamic's fine too.
Oh,
and the spawns flipped.
Here they come. Mofo gonna try and make one. He gets knocked down by Monoxide. Shifty trading him right back, and it's a big trade right there. The Beaver Stripes come in through on the kill feed. No one actually on the hill. 16 seconds remaining. Sai and Monoxide jumping back onto it, and it almost feels like they are just getting off the hill because they want more time to find these kills. Challenging the double. Beams managing to get the trade. Mofo in on the site, but it will not be enough. The last 3 seconds will take through, and Starboys are going to pick it up 250 to 69.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
so far that was easily the most dominant hardpoint I've seen. And it definitely seemed like a combination of gun skill, map control, good rotations, things like that. So it was just from top to bottom a really impressive hardpoint, and maybe saw a little bit there of PGU being overmatched a touch. So sometimes we see that in a team's first match in a new league, and it just kind of is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll see as things go on if they clear it up. I want to call back to yesterday's matchup when we saw a very similar thing. It was a very one-sided map number 1. Maps 2 and 3 both went to their final rounds, though. So it is by no means over right now for PGU, but they got to make some big plays as they move over into the SND. You said we were going to be sticking on Garrison for that SND for a while, as well as for the map number 3 Control, I believe. So I haven't actually seen this map played at a competitive level on the Search and Destroy or Control yet, but I am hoping it's at least a little bit more even than the very heavily defensive Moscow, and that might just be enough for PGU to take things their direction.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious to see, and exactly like what you mentioned mentioned about yesterday, was obviously the hard point was, I mean, it was a pretty close scoreline to what we just saw, but the Search and Destroy was completely different. And something we've seen in this game, snipers can make a huge difference. And,
it was Dome coming through big for Outlaws on that game yesterday as he just continued over and over to find picks with that sniper, even in like 1v2 situations. So they can do a whole lot of work with the long lines of sight that have been put into the game right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious to see if there is a sniper on the side of Clearwater that can really make a huge difference. How much is it to get into the league? It depends on what league it is. We have 3 different tiers kind of aimed at different skill and, competitive experience levels. So we are doing our best to make each league as competitive and, competitive from top to bottom as possible. Our the current league you're seeing, the entry fee is $40 per team. So, and it kind of tiers down from there. Actually, it doesn't really tier down. Both are 25 below it. So, but yeah, I mean, that's something. If you have more questions, definitely reach out to us on Twitter.
You'll see the link to the Discord popping up now,
Discord
and again
too.
in chat as well. Nightbot is on a timer for that one. I gotta say hello to my boy Timmy though, dropping in. Are you and Pickin and the rest of them gonna be on any teams in any of these leagues?
Oh, they're in a team. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't remember. They keep switching teams up on me. Are they?
I think I know I saw them somewhere. Oh yeah, they're Minnesota Finest, right?
They are still MN's Finest. Okay.
Yep.
Are MN's Finest in Champs or Challengers?
Challengers. They're in Division 3. So
I might have to sneak back
Pickens,
over to pick up a couple of those games. They're back from when they were on MSC. I've kept up with that team for quite a bit. Same as I'll have to try and sneak in some time to pick up some Void Clan games. Jordan Nova continue to give the support. Got to support them right
Jordan's
back.
Great.
I'm really looking forward, speaking kind of Void Clan, the game tomorrow with Wave Runners, the formal Void Clan roster with Starfall and the crew. They came out very hot in their first matchup, and going to be interesting to see how they continue to perform through the league.
Absolutely.
Anytime you get these teams that kind of stick together through more than just one game, so they really have that teamwork together, they obviously work well together, they start to become powerhouses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I would definitely
Hammer,
agree.
I did say hi to you. Shut up.
All right, let's get back to the game here. But yeah, I mean, I am definitely with you. I feel like Heartbreakers is a perfect example of a team that stuck together and, showed a ton of improvement last season where a lot of teams that were playing with them were making switches and whatever else. Heartbreakers stuck together, made a big-time playoff run compared to what their expectation level maybe was coming in. But anyways, they're a team I expect to look really good this season as well after bringing back pretty much the same roster, obviously minus one person. So there's a lot to be said for continuity and familiarity with your teammates and whatever else. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of these teams perform.
Yeah, I've definitely seen teams that have what you may consider like some individual amazing talents not really perform at that level because those talents keep switching between every different team every single time they get a loss. It's like, well, it's obviously your guys' fault. It's not me. So they never end up finding success. But then these teams of guys that are really good and then as a team come together to be greater than the sum of their parts and they stick together like that, that's the difference. As
Absolutely.
If I can jump back in.
And T-Man, we have games pretty much every night. So the matches you'll see on this stream and our partner stream and our B stream are going to be the Champions and Challengers League matches. So between those two leagues, we have matches every single night. During the weekends, we'll probably have multiple. So over time, you'll definitely see the three different channels and kind of what leagues are in them. As here we go. We're going to start to destroy.
All right, looks like we're loading into map number 2. It is again Garrison, this time for the SND, and our colors are correct. So it should be a little bit easier to discover.
Sniper.
Speaking of the sniper, Mofo gonna turn the corner and knock one down onto Monoxide. Clearwater go up into a 4v3 advantage.
He centered.
Dynamic and was just a little bit off. All of a sudden, that advantage gets flipped the other way, and Starboys are up by 1.
Yeah, that sniper there for Mofo, he actually did center on the person that killed him. I don't know if he got the shot off or not, but he was a split second away from getting a second pick there. But really good job here by Starboys to not only even the odds, but also take the lead as Shifty will fall. And it's going to be Ryan with the last one alive here.
Yeah, and in a very difficult situation, he's going to get hunted down, knocked down, and that feels like one Clearwater won another shot at. They had that initial pick, which is so important, especially now that we've moved to a 4v4 instead of a 5v5 format. Those instant initial picks are gonna have such a bigger impact on the overall composition of the team, and Clearwater have to find a way to take an advantage off of that. See now if Mofo actually sticks on the sniper from the opposite side, or if he is gonna try and mix something up now that they're playing the defense. Seems like, if anything, the defense is where you'll want the sniper, so I expect him to be looking for picks. It looks like he is down middle. We got eyes on Shifty, though. Oh, nope, we'll stick over, see what Dynamics has going on here in the center, as to be very careful not to get spotted out as he creeps forward with their team, and it's feeling like a B-side hit right now for Starboys as everyone is just kind of positioning themselves.
Yeah, I like to reference the CDL teams quite a bit because they're a really good reference point for, not only skill obviously, but as Ryan gets a couple of huge kills, but in terms of kind of like how the change from 4v4 to 5 to, or from 5v5 to 4v4 is going to change things, and we'll see it a lot with the CDL obviously, but the better search teams, or teams with players that have been playing search for a lot of years, I think they're going to have a big advantage in 4v4 just because it's such a more structured game and you're rewarded more for playing the correct way. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to work this season versus, seasons past, and a great response here for Clearwater.
Yeah, Clearwater going to be able to tie things back up there. But it starts to be that thing I'm worried about. The defensive sides now continue to trade rounds, so we'll see how long that lasts. So far, though, Garrison definitely not as bad as Moscow. There are ranges of ways that the attacking side can actually get onto the site. It's kind of just awkward to find a way to attack it. I'd like to see if any teams are actually going to go for this B bomb site. Take that route you see on the very bottom side of the map where you can kind of avoid that big line of sight through the center. That might be a way to go in, and that's actually where Shifty's going to be taking the bomb right now. So it does seem like we're going to be heading over towards B. They got to watch out for Psy, though, creeping around through the underground section. He was expecting someone to maybe go that way, but Dynamic and IO on the opposite side are going to be able to pick up 2 for themselves. Now it's 3 as Dynamic gets himself a double kill, and Starboys with a clean sweep there from the defensive side to retake the lead.
Yeah, I think the side of Clearwater just needs to be a little bit more patient in where they're peaking. The person up top floating tank there needs to take out Dynamics mid-map. He's really, well, I guess I can't really tell where he's sitting, but I think he was sitting up top. He needs to do a better job of kind of patrolling that middle area, not allowing that person for Starboys to push up and basically get 2 or 3 free kills like that. So maybe a little bit more communication for Clearwater, potentially using smokes to their advantage a little bit better. So we'll have to see how they adjust.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Even though smokes are such an important thing in the GAs, I don't think I've seen any pops so far here on the SND. It's just getting out of the way is Dynamics. Now, he's going to go over the top, sneaks by. Mofo might have had a shot on him, but didn't get it triggered. Instead, the kill goes the other way as Shifty goes down. And there's a chance on the line, but it doesn't happen. Mofo going to cover his team's back, and the A-bomb site wide open now if they want to push it that way. 1 for 1 on the trade so far, making it a 3v3 situation, but it seems like we're going to be pushed into a post-plant situation as no one is going to have a chance to defend, and Ryan goes down as well. So Clearwater, even though they managed to even things back up, not the position they want to be. Next man up will be Mofo. Shoot Beams gets one down on the Monoxide, but he is now all alone as Mofo does fall. 2v1 in the post-plant situation. Beams definitely has a chance with 30 seconds remaining, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, he's in a really bad spot here. He needed one of his teammates to stay alive and just couldn't make it happen. And now he's just, I'm not really sure what his plan is. He's not really doing a whole lot of anything. So I'm not really sure what does he think the bomb's planted here at B?
I don't know. He can't be. There's no one had a chance. Now he's going to run over there, but he won't have time for it. He's going to see one of the run-by challenges. IO gets the kill, gets traded. And you got to remember, this is Call of Duty. It's not Valorant or CSGO. There's no reason to save at the end of a round. So, honestly, he should have started moving this way faster. When he initially checked his flanks to make sure no one was getting behind him, that's all you need to do. Instead, he's kind of spinning in circles over there by the other bomb site, and he just runs out of time to try and make something happen.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange, and I'm not sure if maybe the visuals of the game kind of threw him off there a little bit, but it seemed like he thought the bomb was planted by the bomb site next to him, because he was checking for people to push, or maybe he just hasn't played a lot of search or something like that. But either way, there's a little bit of confusion and seemed to really delay his ability to retake that A bomb site there.
You know, for his credit, I'm not sure there could have been a visual glitch. We're dealing with a lot of those from the podcaster side. From the player's side, I haven't seen if there's any issues from SND, so I won't leave it completely out of the situation. His first man to go down is Beam, so he doesn't have to worry about getting pushed into one of those clutch situations.
Right.
Dancing around now as Shifty going to go down underneath the tank, so having to worry about dynamics with that high position on the other side. You do see Momo, and they want to knock down the sniper, so him and Noxide going to do a double team, but Ryan on the backside gets Sai. All of a sudden, it is a 2v, never mind, it's a 1, never mind, it's a 0v3 as Starboys continue to knock him down as I try to recap the man differential, now up 4-1 with 3 straight.
There's just so much map control seemingly every round for Starboys, and I don't know if it's the side of Clearwater just playing overly timid or just, you know, not being aggressive and trusting their hits and their strats and whatever else, but Starboys just seem to do whatever they want on the map, and Clearwater is having a real issue responding to it.
Yeah, so at this point, I kind of struggle to see what Clearwater can do to turn this around. This is not the situation Outlaws had going on yesterday, where even though they got kind of stomped in the hard point, they were able to turn things around and just have a back and forth through the next 2 maps. This one still feels heavily Starboys favored, but Clearwater do have the sniper of Mofo to try and play behind. Sai is looking to answer that. He's now sitting at 7-2 and just wanted to get in the heads of the other team, because I haven't seen him pick up the sniper to this point. Obviously doesn't work out. Mofo switches to the AK instead and still manages to win the 1v1.
Oh, great shots of Ryan.
Goes down as well to Ryan, and all of a sudden it's a 2v4. Here's the chance for PGU to get something to happen. Shifty, though, still looking to get on the board.
And this is where Clearwater needs to be very careful. They don't have to push anything, and if they do, make sure you push it with a teammate. The buddy system is so important when you have the life advantage, and they need this round. Like, I don't think there's much chance for them to pull this comeback off anyways, but if they're going to do it, it has to start right now. And that's going to be an easy free kill there for Dynamics. Ryan was kind of waiting for it, but he should have been traded, and now it's a 2v1.
Yeah, you saw in there, Beams was kind of caught awkwardly in the center. Now, though, it is left into a 1v1. Shifty, the man it's all going to come down on. 1 and 5 versus 7 and 2, and he has eyes on him. Sam Shifty, no, I hate it. And now he's going to have to turn around, and he loses the challenge. Heartbreaking fashion right there for PGU, as Shifty should have had eyes on. The name definitely showed up here. It's kind of weird now that the names are always on. We don't get to see when they pop up as much for the players, but as Shifty turns the back around, it is just a difficult angle to take. I mean, he did still have the height advantage, so it's something you want to find for yourself. That hurts.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I'm not sure if the person who planted the bomb saw him originally when he peeked. I couldn't tell from that angle, but he knew exactly where he was, or at the very least where to pre-aim right off the rip there, and it just worked out perfectly for the bomb planter. The Starboys is looking like they're going to be going up 2-0 here.
I mean, honestly, Shifty was probably making a lot of noise. He was running on top of that bridge, and noise has been a very important factor in Cold War thus far, as it's an instant double kill coming through for Starboys, and it seems like they're not even going to risk it. So I'm going to challenge down the center onto Ryan, decides not to go and go the other direction with Dynamics' help.
Now
as the push continues to go forward, Sai is hunting for anybody. No one will be found. Ryan instead retreating way back in towards their spawn.
That's
and
a smart
just
play.
Look at the difference of map control. They are hunting the Starboys. As I shoot, Beams falls, and Ryan is all alone in the 1v4. Sai goes right by him, but he's even going to be able to stay alive.
And there it is.
All up to Ryan. He gets taken down by the pistol, and Starboys now winning in a flashy fashion to show that map 1 was not a fluke. They are looking to stomp their way through this game.
Yeah, just an unfortunate search and destroy. I think Starboys had the upper hand very obviously, but there were definitely situations that Clearwater could have played a little bit better, probably taken a couple more rounds, and they just couldn't find a way to combat the aggressiveness or the aggression from Starboys. You know, couldn't capitalize on life advantages, couldn't trade effectively. It was just a rough map overall, but I think there are positives from them. They have some players with some good shots. Mofo, obviously a solid sniper. We saw Ryan with some really good Krieg shots there. Shifty, I mean, his shots seem fine, just maybe a little bit unfortunate a couple times, but, you know, obviously the execution wasn't there, the teamwork wasn't there. Kind of an unfortunate map for them.
Yeah. Also, apologies for saying that was a pistol kill at the end. The MP5 sounds so weird in this game. I thought for sure he had whipped out the pistol and was just spamming out shots. It
does sound goofy sometimes.
The second time I watched it, I almost thought it was suppressed, but I don't think it was. It better not be.
No, just the audio in this game, I feel like it's a little bit off sometimes. So But no, great shots there overall. But you could really see the confidence from Starboys in that final round because they were sprinting around the map, not worried at all about getting killed. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, especially right there at the end. I think the big 2 rounds were definitely the one Shifty should have had for himself as he made it into the 1v1. But honestly, it shouldn't have even come down to the 1v1 because PGU were up in a 3 versus 2. And as you said, they were not finding trades like they had to. So that was a little bit shady. And then later on, it also got rough when, or actually earlier on, it got rough when it came down to Beans getting caught in a 1v2, but he just never even made the move to rotate across to the opposite side. So a few rounds in there where you're scratching your head and it has to be go back to the scrims, Clearwater, at least kind of talk through some of those SND strats because that might be the mode where you have the best chance to get one over on some of these teams, and you got to really put in the work on it.
Yeah, I mean, hard point's always going to be the one game mode where you can't really hide the lack of gun skill. You can always rotate well and try to anchor and put yourself in advantageous positions. But if your gun skill isn't up to par, it just kind of is what it is. Search and destroy and control are a little bit different. You can kind of think your way around those game modes a little bit more, especially if you have defense first in control. Search, obviously, you can stretch your way to wins and do things a little bit differently that way. But it's very, very tough to win in amateur Call of Duty if your gun skill isn't to the same level of your opponent. It's always been that way. We've seen it ever since this league started, and it's kind of carried over. We did see last year a couple times. I can't remember what the team was or what their name was, but they beat a lot of more talented individually teams in Search and stole a couple hard points due to just having slightly better strategy and basically buying into what they do. And we haven't seen that so far this season and in this game because we're so new and so fresh, but there's always a team or two that finds a way to optimize their skill level. So
yeah, and I've always been an advocate for playing the game that way. I mean, there are going to be teams that don't have as good of the gun skills, but if you can just outbrain your opponents a little bit in hardpoint, you can be a little bit better on your rotation, send out a route man a little bit faster, and all of a sudden you're spawning on the other side. You have that advantage, and even if your gun skills aren't quite there, you'll still be able to set up first. On SND, you can have the executions on different sites, have different smoke setups. I know it's not as in-depth as some of the other competitive FPS games, but it's still something you can think about. And then honestly, now that we've gotten away from the domination, which didn't have a lot of room to kind of play through the more mental, cerebral side of the game, it was just when do you send someone to try and take a C flag instead of throwing everybody at B. Now that we're back over to control, I would like it to end up being more questions of which site do we go to first. It's not quite balanced enough yet to get there, but if teams can come with a mindset of we're very good at SND and we're good enough at rotations to steal away some hard points, that is more than enough to steal some games away and make it maybe not to the very top position in your division, but could even sneak your way all the way through to playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of sad. The thing that I don't like about this game is, teams that probably aren't up to par gun skill wise with their competition can steal some controls due to having defense first. That's a blessing and a curse. I don't know if I totally agree with it, but it kind of is what it is. I need to switch my sides here really quick before we get started. There we go. But that
extra time. See if that helps. Oh wait, it's too late. It's too late. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully the colors will be okay. I saw someone say they fixed it by switching the teams back a few times, but I think it's just like whoever you have on team 1 to start it, their colors are going to be on their minimap, and yeah, the colors are backwards again. Yep. So it's just broken podcaster. Hopefully Treyarch knows about it. They'll be able to fix it up pretty soon. But
hopefully.
Yeah. Here we'll get to see if that defensive side ends up being such an issue as from the defensive side, I believe, is going to be As I look back and forth, Starboys is on the defense. They are the lime green on your mini-map.
Good start here.
It is PGU actually getting the first 3 kills to try and build a little bit of a respawn advantage for themselves. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of it, but if you are not, if it's been a while since you've seen this mode, competitive Call of Duty, control works where you got to cap these 2 different control points, but you do not have all day to do it. There is a timer and there are respawn limits, so a little bit mix of both respawn and SND elements of both. And right now it is about to get tough again as Dynamics knocks down the kill onto Shifty, and there has just been nothing from PGU to get onto either of these points.
Now, and Clearwater actually started out pretty well on defense there, but Starboys now is just picking a little bit more patiently, starting to push up as you do see IO get a couple kills there, trying to open up this B site. But I'm curious to see strategy-wise what some of these teams do. Oh, was Ryan almost lost a gunfight. Good trade there. I'm curious to see what these teams do in terms of trying to protect their life advantage or try to gain or try to make up for a disadvantage, because the team that has the life advantage going to around 5, that dictates who's on offense or defense. So that's a big part of strategy going into this game mode, and I'm curious to see how teams kind of plan around that.
Yeah, right now it is even on the respawn difference, and off of capping that B point, they got another minute of time to play through. Starboys here on the attacking side. Their KDAs are looking good, and IO gonna knock down another one onto Mofo. Shoot beams with a trade onto Dynamics as IO cleans him up. And the kills difference will slowly climb their direction, but it's still close enough that PGU could just play for kills. They could just try to knock Starboys down in that method.
Oh,
Shifty gonna take a challenge versus Dynamics, and he just gets dunked on right there. And IO's kill as well are gonna start adding even more pressure. The control getting built up here on this A side are gonna mean that PGU have to make something happen sooner rather than later. And they're 3 kills down. This is really not the position you want to be in. There's a chance for Mofo, but he gets blown up by Sai Semtex. Ryan gets the trade back, and Ryan gets a double kill, which is massive to keep the hopes alive. Now eyes on Ryan. He's going to get some support from his teammates, and time is down to 50 seconds. I don't think that is enough time for these respawns to last. Shoot beams. He is not shooting beams right there, and he's going to lose it.
Oh, no.
Shifty ends up actually getting that kill onto Sai, but Monoxide from the backside able to trade it back, and now 2 ticks up over by A. Big kill there from Mofo on the IO. The Dynamics and Monoxide can trade it back. No response left. So it is 3 members versus essentially 10 lives for Starboys. This is going to be the end of round number 1, and the attacking side pick up the win, which just goes to show how good Starboys are feeling here today.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Clearwater here on offense. I don't know. I mean, they got killed there in some situations where they should have gotten 1 or 2 kills, and just, you know, the teamwork and trading ability and comms for Starboys was just that much better. So I'm a little bit nervous for them on offense. I think Starboys is going to have their way. You could say it that way. And I'm not trying to discredit Clearwater, but from what we've seen so far, there's been some kind of sloppy play, and I think Starboys will take advantage of it here.
Yeah, and I'm going to be interested as more games get played, especially as Starboys continues to play more games, where they're going to end up in the overall standings of this division. Because right now, they're looking just unbeatable right there down the center. Mofo going to get knocked down by Dynamics, and Shifty trades it right back. I'm wondering right now, is it Clearwater is sitting at near the bottom of the league, Starboys is sitting at near the top of the league, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, that's a great point, and that's why it's so hard to really make too many judgments very early on, as we do see Starboys getting a little bit aggressive here, trying to push up and get some cheeky kills off spawn. But yeah, I mean, the first week or 2 of matches is always tough, because you see matchups like this happen, and it's always hard to tell if maybe the team that wins 3-0 is this really a top tier team, and the other team maybe is, of course, the bottom of the score is more out of whack than what it probably should be. So it's always hard to tell.
So as we get into 30 seconds remaining, Starboys had a pretty lockdown defense up until this point. PGU, they are down by 7 respawns, but that's not what's going to kill them. It's looking like the timer. And just look at the Starboys members. Remember, they're the green arrows. Look how far pressed forward they are as PGU continue to spawn on that far right side. Starboys are just trying to camp them. A couple kills go the other way, so they won't actually happen as the last single-digit seconds tick away. Completely one-sided on the defense. I think that's what you were mentioning about being worried. Right there is a great example as Dynamics puts together 3 kills in the last few moments. 2-0 now, as PGU's real last chance here to at least get something for themselves is to hold on the defensive side of control.
Yeah, and it seems like there are some players on Clearwater that have really good shots and have a pretty good idea of what they want to do. Ryan definitely seems like one of those players. I feel like Mofo at times has gotten some kills he maybe shouldn't have. But it also seems to be, to me, like there's some comm issues, or maybe these players just haven't played enough of these game modes on these maps yet to have a really firm understanding of where some of these callouts are, because there have been a lot of trades that haven't happened, or players have escaped where they probably shouldn't. So that's something that can definitely be cleaned up. So
as we come into the possible final round of the entire game, map and match point, eyes out to see how the kills go. Pistol out for Mofo, as he's actually going to get that kill on towards Psy, and PGU have an early one respawn lead, but they were in that position in the first round of this one and still couldn't close it out. Mofo, a lot of pressure on him to try and turn around that KDA. He's on a 3 streak now, make a 4 streak. Psy gonna push him as well, but he spotted it out. The challenge goes the way of Psy, though, and Starboys now going to try and apply more pressure over by B. That seems to be what they have determined is the weak initial point. They got that one first last time, trying to do it again here as Shifty gets popped by IO. Monoxide there to follow it up, and the hill gets broken open. Starboy's going to look to start building that control, see how many ticks they can get through, as IO is going to push even farther forward, hunting for some kills. Mofo going to push to his left side, but manages to just sneak by. Shifty on the opposite is going to go down in a big flurry of kills. Dynamics finds himself with a double kill, and IO one more, meaning Clearwater starting to fall behind in that respawn. The early lead not going to be enough, and it looks like the time might not be on their favor either if they can't force guys off this B hill.
And if you look at the mini-map, it seems like the side of Clearwater has had a player over towards A pretty much the entire time.
That's Ryan.
That seems to be pretty consistent in basically every control map I've seen played thus far. They send one person to go to the less preferred starting point and then kind of hope that the other team doesn't go there. So I'm really curious if some of these offensive teams will switch things up, go to the maybe, in theory, tougher point first and overwhelm the 1 or 2 people there and hope to get that. So curious to see what the strategy is going to shift to, but right now this is just Starboys.
Yeah, let's appreciate what IO is putting together right now. There's another one. Now he's going to push from 2 directions. Going to get challenged up close and personal. Shifty does knock him down. IO is 19-10. Dynamics is 20-9. So you have 2 players sitting right around a 2 KD and 20 kills. That is just unheard of at this level. As well as 15-10, 15-14. Everyone is positive. And Mofo trying to get a pistol whip out onto Dynamics again. Going to get punished. Not going to happen. 18 seconds and a minute left. That's a weird way to say the time, but I'll stick to it.
Oh, no.
But really, you got to be looking at the respawns as PGU are down to only their last 4 members. Everyone, this is their final life, essentially going up against 14 members on the opposite side. IO will get spot. Oh, no, that is Dynamics. The colors messed me up. Mofo and the time and the point, everything going against them, and it's a clean sweep on the control, a clean sweep on the game as Starboys end up winning this one 3-0.
Yeah, just an impressive showing for Starboys, I'd say. Clearwater, they definitely showed some positives. I definitely don't want it to sound like they have no hope, because they definitely have skill. Just maybe small things like finding the perfect attachments on ARs or subs. Better teamwork, cleaner comms, stuff like that. So we'll have to see how they look moving forward. There's definitely room to improve and grow as a squad there, but very impressive for Starboys overall from top to bottom. So
yeah, Starboys, got my eye on them to be a team to watch out for going forward. Similarly to yesterday, had the matchup as Pulsive put together a great little game for themselves. Just overall, gonna be interesting to see how both of those teams end up performing. But that will wrap up the game for today. Drew, thank you very much for coming in and casting with me. This has just been a great one, especially once we managed to sneak by those earlier technical difficulties. Things ended up riding real smooth. Yeah,
this is something we'll probably have to utilize more often moving forward if the game is going to continue to have issues. It's great to have Discord at our disposal and have it be this easy to use. So Once again, you guys, thank you very much for the awesome viewership. We've had a really good start to the season. The stream's doing well. We're happy to not be using our consoles anymore, so I'm excited about that. The quality is fantastic. Obviously, Morgan, thank you very much as always for doing a phenomenal job. Happy to have you on board and doing what you do as always. And you guys in the chat, thank you very much for being here and supporting as always. But I think we should have another match here in about an hour for the Challengers League. That is going to be on our B stream, twitch.tv/XPB stream. Is that what it is? XP League.
I believe that is it.
XP League B stream. So that's.
You gotta get that link on Nightbot. Just throw it up with the command.
Yep, I will add that here at some point. But that's going to be who's actually playing. Let me double check here and see. I think that's Void actually, right?
I believe it is. I know for a fact it will be Gunner on the cast,
Yep.
so going to be interesting to see how he performs. He's been itching to get on the cast all week. Every time he's like, let me at him. I'm sure you guys can go over there to pick up a well and true amount of hype out of him to just kind of keep things rolling there in the Challengers League.
Yeah, and just to give you guys kind of a heads up as to what to expect this weekend from the Champions League, I'm trying to see. We have, looks like one tomorrow night, Gunsmoke versus Wave Runners. But outside of that, nothing really being posted yet. But I'm curious to see how this season's Wave Runner squad is going to look, as I think they actually made a roster change. Let me double check and see what they did here.
And here's the time
now
they
got
we
Void's
got some
team.
viewers in. I got to say, if any of you are